Hey, how's it going? This is Brian with Hammer Time. We're here doing a repairability attempt for Miss Annie Zarate. As you can see here, I have a wind damaged shingle marked out in chalk. This is our second take of a repair test video because the camera wasn't rolling the very first time. So this will be the second time we're going through this. That's okay though, because now we've got two opportunities to show this adjuster that a repair definitely won't work on this roof because of functionality issues with brittleness and cracking. So I want to show you guys the tools I'll be using today. The first tool is just a wonder bar, flat bar, all right? And that's to break the seals on the shingles. The second is a precision nail puller, and this is just to dig out those hard to get nails on the top of a shingle. I like to use this method a lot better than I like to pull out from the bottom. It really does wonders as far as helping nails not pull through, which can end up causing more damage on a roof on courses that you're not actually replacing. Then I've got a roof snake here. This is to install the nails without bending those shingles up. At no point during any of these videos will we be lifting these shingles above about 30 degrees. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to break the seals on the shingle directly above our damaged shingle just to see which shingle this is a part of. So this is a middle shingle. So what we got here is we got a 3-tab shingle. For the adjuster watching, you know it's called a 3-tab shingle because this is a tab. There's 3 of those in one shingle. So our area of repair is going to consist of these 2 courses. There's 2 nail lines in this shingle, one directly under this course and one going through both of these courses to hold this shingle into place. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break the seals carefully on all the shingles surrounding in our area of repair. Just carefully break these seals. And then before I go and dig out any of these nails, I'd like to get an overview, a close-up overview of a before of what these shingles look like prior to any kind of nail pulling or anything like that. But if we just work our way down and we show all of these before, you can see the condition of these shingles and what they look like before us pulling any nails out of them. All right, so remember I got this precision nail puller right here and my 20-ounce hammer, and I'm just gonna barely lift up just slightly to be able to dig this nail out from the top. If I get it from the bottom, it could pull through. Now notice I'm not cranking back on these shingles at all. Just gonna get enough to get my point in here to be able to dig this nail out. And you guys saw the before, that's the during. And then let's look after. For the adjuster watching, you can see all along the top of this shingle. It's kind of hard to see in this video, but you can see that there's brittleness cracking from just that material being so weak and brittle. So that you guys can see that that's actually a functionality issue. Now we're on to the next one. Let's lift just slightly. Same deal. We're just hitting it just enough to be able to get the tooth of this underneath this nail and work it up so that we can pull it out. All right, you guys saw the before. There's the during. This one actually broke up here, up at the top. You can see where it's coming separated. Yep, all the way across the top of this shingle. You can see where that matting is actually cracked, and that's an issue with functionality. That will let water in. All right, on to the next one. I'm gonna lift just slightly. Gonna pull this nail out, same deal. Just enough to be able to get our tooth up under it. And pull this nail out. And then you guys can see, kind of as a continuing line right here, you can see all along the top of this shingle where this matting has cracked. Brittleness has become a factor, right? Not as bad as the one next to it, but still functionally worse. On to the next one. We're gonna lift just slightly. Doesn't look like there's any nail in that, so I won't have to dig anything. But let's go ahead and get an after of this too. Just from that simple lifting motion, we want to get a clear before, during, and after to make sure that we're showing on camera the viability of these shingles when it comes to any kind of repair or any manipulation at all. All right, we're on to this second course. Let's get up under this shingle right here. I'm gonna lift just slightly. Get that tooth up under there. Pull that shingle, that nail out. And you guys can see, starting right here, kind of in that same general area where that matting is an issue, because now it's cracked, it's broken, and that's gonna end up letting water through. All right, on to the next one. We're gonna lift just slightly. All right, so we got the before, we got the during, and here's the after. You guys can see all along the top of this shingle here where that matting's become an issue. It's broken, it's now cracked, it's going to let water in at some point. All right, we're on to the last one. Let's lift just slightly. This one's gonna have 2 nails that need to be dug out. So this is just one aspect of the roofing repair process. You can see towards the end of this, this is when the initial damage happens. And then towards the end of this, you guys can see that these shingles actually degrade more and more functionally. So we're gonna just pull this second nail out. Oh, now we're out with the old and in with the new. So we got something under here, some debris or something. All right, so you guys can see all along the top of this shingle, you can see where that matting is cracked, it's broken. Now we're out with the old and in with the new, but before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and visually inspect this underlayment. All right, if you can see up in here where there's bubbling that occurred, this underlayment is actually holding moisture. You can see on this nail or this staple head, you can see where it's actually rusted. So it's actually holding a little bit of moisture. It really needs to be replaced as well. All right, now we're gonna slide our new shingle in the old shingle's place, and we're gonna make sure it lines up perfectly and not sideways. Just some minor adjustments there. And for this section, I'm gonna be using this roof snake, and everywhere I pull the nail out, I'm gonna be putting the nail back in its place. So I'm gonna lift just slightly. Drive that nail home. Same thing. Sometimes they bend. Sometimes they hit like a nail or a stable head underneath there. They don't want to go in. Place for it. Drive it home. Now, you notice for the adjuster watching, at no point during this repair has any of these shingles been lifted up excessively. We followed all the processes and rules for the standard of care here to replace a shingle. So as I drive this last nail in, the adjuster watching, you guys saw the before, you saw the during, and you saw the after. We traded 1 damaged shingle out for 7 damaged shingles. You can see, let's get some close-ups here. You can see along this left side, and if you look really close, you can see along the entire top. You can see on this one, coming all the way down here and getting worse to where it actually splits. You can see the fibers in that shingle showing. Continuing on over here. And then up at the top on this course right here, you can see where these portions of the roofing material are in worse condition that they were in before the repair. So from a contractor standpoint, if I was doing this repair for a homeowner, insurance aside, if I was going to replace one of these shingles for the homeowner, I'd have to come back up to my truck each time, and I'd have to get a shingle to replace here for the damage here, a shingle to replace here for the damage here, a shingle to replace here for the damage here, all the way up. This is not just a simple repair that we could spot repair. It's not something that we can warranty. Would ask that insurance take that into account when it comes to covering this roof. Thank you.